9th grade.
Really? You was young.
What was you doing?
That's what I'm thinking.
Clutching my pearls over here.
Before we get to the neighbors, we got young sons. Do we need?
Y'all probably good. Y'all
Right, I hope so.
Yeah, kids are going in a much better direction.
Wow. Were you in the streets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just in the neighborhood, spending time in the neighborhood, doing some things that on the other side of the law, probably.
Yeah.
I say all that to say, I used to come in the house, from getting high with my friends.
Okay.
And I used to read the books that. So I got sent to my father's parents' house, my grandparents' house.
Mm-hmm.
So they still had all of my father and my uncle's books from college.
Wow.
So I used to come in the house from doing whatever I was doing and getting high and just read their books on sociology and college books. In the 9th grade, I'm reading college level books.
Right.
Psychiatry and psychology. So one of the books that was there was a book that my grandparents had. It was a book of biblical names. Mm-hmm. So because my birth name James begins with J, I just naturally went to the J's first, and I started looking through them, and then I got to Japhia, and I saw what it meant. And initially, it was kind of just like that would be a cool name for if I had a son.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it means sunshine.
Japhia.
So
we like it now that we can pronounce it.
Yeah, right. It took a while, but.
So then when I started my first project, I wanted a new name. It was like a first name and a last name.
Okay.
To kind of be a new representation of the new direction and new perspective that I had. So when I remember telling my engineer, my producer about the name Japhia, and a lot of people used to call me Life because I talk about a lot of things in my life, just real transparent.
Right.
So my engineer was kind of like, why don't you just put Japhia and Life together?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah. I was like, I don't like that.
No?
I was like, that's corny.
Really?
And then a girl was in the
That's
studio.
hot.
But see, a girl was in the studio that was a singer.
Yeah.
And she was singing on my project. And she was like, I like that. I was like, that's my name.
I knew it.
I was like,
Had
that's
to
my
be a
name.
woman.
That's fire. She sealed the deal.
I was like, that's my name.
That sealed the deal.
Yeah, so, I said if women like it, and they understand it. Women buy records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They support you for real.
It connected. So you were rebelling. Your parents put
Big
you
time.
out as
Yeah.
when you were in the 9th grade.
They tried to send me to all type of prep
Really?
schools and
Wow.
and disciplinary schools. I
Wow.
took tests for different academic schools.
Do you remember what was the cause of the rebellion? Was it strict?
It was a
just
disconnect. It was a disconnect between me and my dad at the time.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
because,
Wow.
I grew up a little different than my dad did.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had 2 older brothers.
Okay.
And I kind of never had an older brother. All my older cousins were in Southwest, in Germantown. So I kind of had to navigate the neighborhood, on my own.
Right.
So my dad kind of had 2 older brothers that kind of that was just there. If everything hit me first.
Right, exactly. There was no shields.
Yeah,
exactly. I know what you're saying.
I was the shield. For
right.
my sister.
Wow.
Correct.
Wow.
Wow. So that's kind of that disconnect, and then just my dad is a lot different now. Mm-hmm. He's a lot more understanding of what I went through at the time. But at the time, I felt like he kind of put the church before us a little bit.
Wow.
And that kind of led to, I feel like, a disconnect.
Y'all disconnect.
But that's my guy now, though.
Yeah,
That's your
of
guy.
course,
That's
right?
it.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know he's proud of you today. What's
Absolutely.
your dad's name?
Edward.
Shout out to Edward.
That's Edward
You
Golden.
did good.
Yeah.
You should be proud.
Love you, Pop.
So you go out there, your parents, they send you away. When is that moment that you realize that you had this gift, whether it was writing, singing, being an MC, rapping? When did that come?
That actually came in the neighborhood. You know, my friends, we all used to rap. So I was the last one to do it. You know, so I was just kind of observing and seeing what they were doing. So one day we went in a van that we used to sit in, and we used to gamble in there and get high in there in this van.
In the van?
Right.
In the van.
How big is the van?
It was one of those old school vans.
the old school
vans.
vans.
Wow.
Comfortable
Yeah.
ones.
Right, we said them comfortable ones. We was
Them
chilling.
old, you know, them
Huh.
old school
Yeah.
80s vans.
Yup.
Right.
Right? Not these little minivans.
Yeah.
Like a real van, road trip
Real van.
Yeah, country van. So basically, my friend Nate, his house, he had a driveway next to his house, and his landlord, I think, had that van, but it was always open.
Okay.
So he used to just let us sit in there. You know what I'm saying? And we used to do whatever.
So you in there, you rapping and like.
And then they told me to go one day. And then
the day you just was like, I'm going.
I did a verse that I wrote and I memorized it.
Right.
They were all looking at me like I didn't write it. Like they liked it.
Right.
You know because they looking like, where you been at all this time? We've been sitting up here doing our thing. You've been quiet.
So I'm looking at them like if they like it, it might be something to it. Mm-hmm. So it became a form of therapy. And it actually still is. You know what I'm saying? So,
when did you become public with it?
I became. You mean like outside of my
outside of the van? Yeah, outside of the van.
When did you was like, you know what? I'm taking this
outside of the van.
Yeah. It's interesting because my friend he moved to Philly from Brooklyn when we were in 10th grade, and he introduced me to a girl that ended up becoming like my god sister, right? So she was a rapper too, and she was a Christian too.
Wow.
So he was like, y'all need to meet. So we met and we ended up becoming like a group for like a year.
You know what? I'm starting to realize a lot of women is solidifying some deals with you. As I'm listening to these stories,
he's not just saying that because it's International Women's Day.
I'm just saying.
It's true.
This just seems to be really good though.
But it's good to see how they are
playing a role.
Into, your life and making an impact.
Definitely. I forgot.
No, it's okay. So you and her, you guys link up. You
started a group.
So,
so how did it go public? Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, I met more people through her, and then certain people. I met a guy named Rob Hodge. So and then I got introduced to a guy named Jude Gavin, who was a producer. He had like a spot in South Philly where I used to go record.
Right.
So ended up recording a bunch of songs with him, and he had some friends in California that had a record label, and they had some other acts that were kind of like doing their thing with the label in LA. And he didn't tell me until he actually until he heard back from the guy, but he had sent the head of the label my music.
Okay.
And he didn't tell me he sent them my music though, because he didn't want me to get my hopes up, because he knew I was a big fan of that label.
Oh wow!
But not just from the outside looking in as a fan, not even as being an artist. So when he heard back from the label head saying that he wanted to fly us to LA, he told me. He was like, "Yo," he said, "if we do like a few more songs and they like them, they'll fly us to LA and do an album." So we did more. I did like a few more songs in the next couple days, and he said he liked those too. And then a week later, I got a call saying, "Get your bag together. We going to LA."
Really?
Yeah. So that was my first time going to LA. It was because of my music.
Wow. Do you remember about how old you was?
Yeah, I was probably I was like 20.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I was like 20.
I bet that was huge.
Yeah,
was your parents supportive?
Yeah, definitely. They were always supportive because they knew how it used to be.
Okay.
Definitely.
You said.
But they always were. I think they always were. They knew. They saw my future.
Correct.
So
they was just waiting for you to see it.
To turn around. Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So I remember when we got off the plane to LA. I remember how bright it was.
Wow.
I was like, I've never seen like anything like the light like this. It was different. I remember going to the record stores out there, seeing the albums that were in stores, and getting introduced to the people who ran the record stores, and them saying,
"Are you intimidated at this moment? Are you confident? Is it a mixture?
A mixture of both.
Feel?
Yeah, a mixture of both. Mixture of both.
He thinking like that. What just happened out of this van, and now what happened? I'm out the van now.
Yeah, but it was becoming real. It was becoming real. It was like you're the chosen one.
Yeah,
out of your circle of friends.
Absolutely.
But it was kind of like weird. It was kind of like when I think about that story. Always makes me reflect on the story when they came to look for a king in the Bible out of David and his brothers.
In my Bible study, we've been reading 1 Samuel for probably like the past year or 2 years. Yeah,
And the least one out of them was like he became the king. You know what I mean? So it's kind of I always think about that. Like I don't think I was the I don't think I was the one who they thought would probably become.
Correct, because you was always just looking and watching everybody else do their thing.
Yeah, but I think that was the advantage, though.
Yep.
I got to see and watch more than everybody else did.
But even thinking about that, I mean, was it that you were exposed? Like, did you get lucky? You know how some people say some people got lucky. Was it your discipline? Was it that you was working harder? Like, what was it that you may have put into it or was exposed to that maybe the other people weren't?
I think it was definitely me saying, that artist piece in me where I wanted to create something artistic,
right,
tangible.
Yeah.
So I said that I can make an album. I just want to make an album that can compete with the people I'm a fan of who make albums.
Exactly. And then do people look at rap, and I don't mean to cut you off, do they look at it like a form of artistry? I mean, I know I do. I'm like, it's so poetic, and I want to get, into the creative process that you go through. But people who are doing this type of music coming up, do they look at it as a form of art?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I mean, I think a lot of the music sounds the same. But, I mean, I still support a lot of it. It's a couple artists that are coming up that I'm actually getting ready put under my wing because I'm starting a record label.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So but yeah, absolutely. It's definitely viewed as an art form, for sure.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So, talk to us a little bit about the creative process that you kind of go through to create your art.
Yeah, so now I'm in a place now where because of the albums I put out, it's producers who have become fans of my music. So they'll just send me tracks as where it was before. I only had one producer. That was the guy that was recording in South Philly, Italian dude named Jude, the architect Jude Gavin. So then it was just Jude. Then I found Saint Man. And then, I found Kid Classic from Orlando. So I got about 5 or 6 in-house producers.
So the producer, just for people who don't know, because I mean we're not in that world. The producer, is that the person who do the beats?
Yeah, he does the beats. He does the beats, but he kind of helps with the direction of the song. Kind of like a Dr. Dre would.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
so does he put together the concept? Is he
not
really?
I
think we should.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm more so a producer as well in that regard. I'm not a musician, so I'm not a hands-on producer.
Okay.
But I'm more so a producer. How you'll see the credits for a Beyonce song. It'll say produced by so and so and Beyonce, but Beyonce may have not made the track.
Got you.
It's kind of it's her direction for the song to its completion, as opposed to somebody who just gives you a beat. It could be a person you just view as just a beat maker and not a producer.
Okay.
It's about what else does that person who made that beat bring to the overall collaboration of the song.
Wow, no, that's pretty deep. So the producer, they can make the beat, and what else? I mean, what else would they add to it?
They could just tell you yo, you should try saying it like this.
Give them the vision or the direction of how the song should go.
Direction and stuff like that. So it's different.
So I guess it's important to work with the right producer. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I keep mine close to me. It's 5. I got 5 or 6. I got 2 dudes in Paris named what are they going by now? But it's some guys in Paris that I work with. So Drum Dreamers.
Okay.
That's what they go by. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're in Paris. I got some producers in Cali, and I got a few in Philly. So it's you just gotta have a crew that's your own to be self-sufficient, but still work with people that are new. On the come up as well.
So inspiration.
Yeah.
Who inspired you? Was there anybody who inspired you to kind of go down this path of your music and things like that?
Yeah, I think my biggest inspirations musically would probably be Nas and Tupac.
Okay.
Yeah. Aside from
my husband love Nas.
Yeah.
Love Nas.
Yeah.
Love
him. Man. Yeah. Nas, Tupac, 50 Cent, early 50 Cent.
Okay. Is it because of their lyrics? Is it because is it their personality? What is it? What makes you like an artist? Just
the feeling you get from their music. I feel like a lot of people, certain types of music, it's I grew up with it. It resonated with me because what they were rapping about, I was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of it gave me certain emotions that it took me through, growing up. it's a different connection to the music. Whereas some people, like, I tell people a lot, like, although I'm friends with a lot of Christian hip hop artists, they don't give me any emotions to go through.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that there's none that exist that do that. Because I'm sure that they may do that.
Correct.
Exactly.
You know I think a lot of us tie our emotions to, if it's songs that we really, really like, it's because we had an emotional connection to it. Or it helped us go through something that we were going through and it was able to take us
or told our story.
Correct.
You know?
I was